Hi everyone, it's Kelly from Teaching Python. Sean and I are on a mission to try to do a tip a day and get some recording and get some information out there. So today, tip number 5. I know I said I wasn't going to talk about prompt engineering, but prompt engineering actually starts with variables. And so if you want to teach your students how to prompt well, start teaching with the variables. And I'm being serious, so think about it. Variables aren't just for programmers. They're the building blocks of all of our clear thinking. So if you want students to understand inputs and outputs and control, whether it's in AI or math or even writing, you need to teach through variables. So let me explain. So at its core, a prompt is just an input. In Python, that's the job of a variable to hold the input. We label it and we pass it to somewhere else and it shapes that outcome or output. So whether you're writing username is assigned to input, what's your name, or typing I want to write a thank you note to my friend's parents for buying me a great birthday gift, you're giving a system some data to process. So good prompting is about knowing how to name, how to structure, and how to tweak that input. And that's exactly what variables train students to do. So just with a little bit more control and intention. So a variable helps you to store and reference or point and reuse that info. A well-structured prompt does the same thing. It sets that context, it sets the scope. You want the AI to change tone, you tweak the parameters. You say change the tone to be happy. The changing is also like changing that variable's value. So, for example, in both code and prompting, we use this placeholders like topic or audience to adapt an output. It's the same kind of logic. Updating the topic each time, like for climate change or for heat waves in Python, is like no different than changing that prompt. Like write a summary of climate change for a 6th grader. Write a summary of heat waves for a 6th grader. You're injecting that new data into the same structure. And when I teach 6th grade, I would say that we're going to use an F string to format that topic, that variable, within a string sentence. So prompt engineering is just like the new face of old school coding, right? It's like variables, they're like the MVP. So for CS teachers, it's like a quick crossover activity. Ask students to write a prompt, like explain the concept to a 7th grade student or a 6th grade student or an 8th grade student. Then have them swap those like values out for the concept and the grade level to test how the outputs change. So you've just connected this prompt engineering to programming with variables and taught them the power of like that structured thinking, knowing what you're going to put in that output, that F string, from the variable. This makes sense? So as a final note, let's think about it. As AI becomes like more integrated in every field, understanding how to control the inputs will kind of be like the new AI literacy. So teaching variables early gives the students like a universal tool that they can use across all things like prompts and code and math and communication. And we know that structure is always a plus. I love structure. And variables, well, that's like setting up the structure of your program really well. Okay, so prompting and variables. Give it a try. Let us know how it works. For Teaching Python, this is Kelly signing off.